Shabba.
Penguin.
Spaz. Popin Pete.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Well, I knew I was going to be a dancer when I grew up. What about you, Peng?
Yeah, I kind of knew the same thing. My mother used to make me dance for her friends, and I think that's really how I got started.
What about you, Shabba?
Well, I started dancing just in Chicago at high school functions, and when I got out here is when everything just blew my mind, Toni, you know?
Shabba joined us in a dance group called the Lockers. I think we had one job, and then you joined us, because you caught on to the dance so fast. But, you know, Penguin was probably really learned locking before me. I mean, he was in the early stages of locking. What did the beginning of locking look like?
Well, it was really stick moves, you know, moves like, this was the lock. All the joints were locked up, right? And point. And then we did stuff like hat and ball. We catch things in our hat, jump up, turn the hat around, stuff like that, you know, and jerks. Everything was real jerky, you know?
Well, the Lockers danced through the 70s. Spaz, you came along kind of when punk and new wave started happening.
Yeah.
What? You're most famous for the flip.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
My father used to watch wrestling all the time, and I would see them throw these guys around. I would just mime wrestling myself.
And is that how spazzing happened?
No, that happened in '77 in the punk clubs, when pogoing was real popular in England.
And you turned it into what? I mean...
Well, pogoing was just more like, you know, jumping straight up and down, and I just started doing that. And everyone said, what is that? You know, so I made up my... It was just my own style of...
You know, what's interesting is that you have incorporated a little popping and boogalooing into your scene, which actually is Popin Pete's family's dance. What made you move that way?
Well, first of all, we used to watch the Lockers, and then we just said, well, let's make up something, because Northern California can have something to be recognized for. So we just, the first moves were just it's just the rolls. Then the popping came along. This is like the early stage. And then like in 79, then the other stage of popping came along. Then you incorporate both.
Put it all together.
Put it together, then you...
Lost my shape, trying to act casual, can't stop, I might end up in the hospital.
Mostly, I think the greatest dancing in the last 10 years has come out of L.A., but there is something in New York that's real interesting called the breakers.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking. And
Spin
these
on
are
their
the
heads.
guys that spin on their heads and kind of, yeah, that's real good, but it's not happening at all out here like that.
Yeah. There's not that many people that can spin on their head.
Yeah.
No, want to spin on their
Or
head.
want to even spin on their head.
That's right.
because-
Really, the Lockers' whole main trip was really being soloists. I mean, that's what we were all best at. I think our torment was when we had to do, you know, 8 counts of unison. I mean, we used to try to, what were the quickies?
Oh, yeah, the quickies. And
We'd just come up and go back, and come up, and go back, come up.
One time.
all right. 2 times. Can you do it, then?
Yep.
Reason.
All right.
We hated doing unison, and you loved doing unison.
We loved it.
But that was what was incredible about the Lockers, Toni, is how all the guys would just dive over tables and
I know,
bars.
it was a
and
real
just-
live musical.
Oh, man, you wouldn't believe it.
Everything, you know, life with these guys is like a real live musical. I think we probably represent a decade in rock dance, and it's so great having them all here to talk to them, to talk about rock dancing, because I love talking about rock dancing, because they're always disappearing.